honorable sisters, brothers, and friends, there is an obvious similarity. And here in the United States, they're making considerable money. And I was on Wikipedia and I saw world's most interesting man. Well, as far as here in the United States, I said, I'll put forward my presentation, not being braggadocio. And so I compose and have it as a program presentation towards education and improvement of man on this planet. I think it's real good. Now, I Googled, and to my surprise, there are various presentations. And now I'll be blunt. I just did this as I said, for education and improvement of man, information that they can read and appreciate, and it might be helpful to them. I have more important with much higher priorities than this chit-chat. But I presented it, and it's true facts, and I'm going to have a video and read verbatim what's there, and I have to read it fast in order to get it done in 15 minutes. User Talk, World's Real Most Interesting Man, One-on-One vs. Einstein, Part 1. Basic info. Doc C is an 88 years young, semi-retired world-class scientist and inventor, who today specializes in raising the state-of-the-art of discipline of theology. What are some of his world-class achievements, inventions, and contributions towards the education and improvement of man, especially now per contributions to Wikipedia? Doc C begins with his one-on-one conference with Einstein regarding modernizing the Lorentz-Einstein transformation equation. X prime equals x minus vt over the square root of 1 minus v squared over c squared. That's little c equals the velocity of light. Please note, from one's actual or at least philosophical viewpoint, no scientist can decree what must be the universal ultimate velocity. Basic info. One must know or at least accept the advanced concepts in theoretical mathematical physics are just that, advanced concepts in theoretical mathematical physics. All through the history of science, especially mathematical physics, theory precedes laboratory data. Meanwhile, there is the fact that for years it has been known that regarding the emission and motion of light waves, its phase velocity and group velocity can and does exceed the velocity of light. Now, thinking futuristically, Doc C put forth to Einstein his finite particle theory, wherein momentum equals mass times velocity. P momentum equals m mass times v velocity. In Doc's P prime equals m prime v prime. In future years, as m prime, subatomic particles are found of lesser mass decreasing towards an infinitesimal particle, then as laboratories obtain data, and this is constantly occurring as we speak, with P prime equal to P, then V prime exceeds V, the velocity of light. Put forth causally to Einstein not as a correction, as a modernization. A spin-off of the finite particle theory is the theory, or at least discussion, concerning tachyons, instantaneous action at a distance where change was noticed or claimed instantaneously from t sub 0 to t sub 1. At that increment of almost infinitesimal time, at such a speed, the velocity of light is not only theoretically exceeded, but disregarded. Therefore, the Lorentz-Einstein transformation equation was cordially modernized in April 1955 per Doc C's capital C transformation equation. Capital X prime equals capital X minus the quantity of V times T over the total quantity of the square root of 1 minus the fractional quantity of V squared over capital C squared. X prime equals X minus Vt over the square root of 1 minus V squared over capital C squared. Capital C equal or greater than C, velocity of light. Realize said equation for mathematical physics is breaking the light barrier, BLB. Statement. There are no references in new originating material that is especially true in new theoretical mathematical physics. Further, for non-mathematical physicists, by interrupting the reader with brackets, letters, and symbols, and capital letter abbreviations that are used extensively in mathematical physics, that may cause confusion and or disinterest. The title is World's Real Most Interesting Man. Why lose interested readers with disinteresting clutter? For those who can't or will not accept anything without cluttering references, yours truly repeats as true words, equations, phrases by reference and explanation in order presented. Reference 1. X prime equals x minus vt, minus vt over the square root of 1 minus v squared over capital C squared. I notice if I make a mistake and put it on there, they publish it, but if I have a real good one, this is the third time I've had to do this because they don't publish what appears to be my real good videos. Where was I? Well, I'll get right to the point. My capital X prime transformation equation, capital X prime equals capital X minus vt over the square root of 1 minus v squared over capital C squared, capital C equal to or greater than C, velocity of light. University of Princeton, April 5th to 19th, 1955, recorded by Einstein's secretary. I was talking about references. Reference 4, presented by Doc C, PhD company in a historic and philosophical lecture at the American Physical Society, APS, meeting at the University of California, Berkeley, 2003. That completed part 1. They have now highlighted World's Real Most Interesting Man. Talk, that's the link. 2236, 3rd of January 2014, UTC. One-on-one with Einstein, part 2. From at least 1920 to 1925, Einstein desired to present a unified field theory, UFT. He had a fascination for Maxwell's work in the field of electrodynamics, his field equations in electrodynamics, especially cognizant of the quality of his set of 11 general equations of the electromagnetic field. With Einstein's extraordinary publicity, he naturally conjectured that he should put forth a unified field theory, consisting of gravity and electromagnetism. Thus, in 1921 to 1924, the titles of his publications announce the unification, suppose, of gravity and electromagnetism. 2. In 1925, he actually began using the title Unified Field Theory. Note, there is a saying, if you love life, do not squander time, for that is what life is made out of. Reference 4. Therefore, did Einstein ever put forth a valid unified field theory? After 35 years and many attempts, when we conferred in April 1955, the answer has to be no. 5. In my opinion, the concise summation of Einstein's publications amount to representing the previous work of H.A. Lorentz, Henry Poincaré, Olinto de Preto, Malivia Marek, Herman Minkowski, Philip Leonard, David Phillips, and others. I have to scroll down. Now that's going to be reference 6, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That, in my view, Einstein's opinion was limited. Temporary phase in theoretical mathematical physics. That was passé. That by 1975, laboratories with sufficient data establishing faster than light, FTL, as a realistic research program under the overall title Advanced Concepts of Theoretical Mathematical Physics, ACTMP. Einstein generally agreed that he withdrew his name from the publicized Lorentz-Einstein transformation equations. He interrupted me to insist it was only Lorentz's equation. Why did Einstein fail to obtain a valid unified field theory? In my opinion, he begins properly by concentrating on and beginning with gravitation. That's reference 7. Then he tries to combine explanations and representations in the field of study of electrodynamics, that's reference 8, with definitions and explanations and representations in the field of gravitation. Now, there's the strong force, is the force of the binding energy that binds the nuclear particles in the core of the atom, the example, protons and neutrons. And then there's the weak force, beta decay, neutron to proton, to electron, and an antineutrino. And various strange particles. I'm quoting the official literature. appear to be neglecting then those other forces concentrated, but he's correct, starting with gravitation and combining electrodynamics, electromagnetism, which will need the field equations, etc. Now, so if you can then assimilate the weak force and the binding energy, because binding energy is measured in MeV, is measured in electron volts, that in Einstein's time, 1955, that was what you could plausibly figure in the future was obtainable. That only left combining gravitation. So I say good luck, because what is the fact that until I put forward my unified field theory, which I had a basic concept when I conferred with him, and that's what we were going to work on. And now I think it is valid, and I have to think back 40 plus or minus years on what I did. Absolutely true facts. Take a lie detector test anytime, or you put this on a voice stress analyzer, prove I'm saying absolute true facts. Now, to complete this, because I want to get to my main interest and challenge now, is the discipline of theology. How did we get here? Why are we here? What best to do? Now, I have here now, item 4 was Franklin Benjamin per Richard's Almanac about do not squander time. 5, Doc C, PhD company preparation, 5/15/54 April 5, 1955, 12 and 19th, 1955, one-on-one conference, advanced concept theoretical mathematics, physics, ACTMP, Princeton University, recorded by Einstein's secretary. That's 6A. And then I have 6A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and give the same names I gave before. And while I'm looking at this, I put emphasis on Poincare. He put forward relativity at least a year before Einstein. Special general, time dilation, length contraction, etc. Now, and we have where I say Einstein spent, I'm quoting literature, the last 30 years of his life on a fruitless quest for the way to combine gravity and electromagnetism in a single elegant theory. Some reference as the same, 8 is the same reference as 1. 9, fast forwarding, present literature appears per consensus opinion to be the theory of everything. Capital T, small o, capital E. Now, this TEO appears has supplanted old Al's and old Doc's unified field theory. And I give the reference URL, the theory of everything, the origin and fate of the universe, assembled from 7 lectures by Hawking on audio tape by Hawking, released in 1994 under the title Stephen W. Hawking's Life Works. The Cambridge Lectures. Several years ago, Stephen Hawking said that there was a 50-50 chance that an actual unification of the 4 fundamental forces, a theory of everything, would be achieved. Recently, he has become more pessimistic on this score. Please note, the above reference 9 leads yours truly to launching Part 3, one-on-one vs. S. Hawking's, that should be composed and submitted to Wikipedia. User talk by January 15, 2014. The true facts of this one-on-one vs. Stephen Hawking will be highly interesting. That completes my presentation. They have now highlighted World's Real Most Interesting Man, Talk 2043, 13th of January 2014, UTC. Then they have noticed that highlight link. And further, there is the boldly printed navigation menu If you want to navigate to find, you look under navigation menu, and there is also World's Real Most Interesting Man. Now that's completed in 15 minutes, and I want to say I prove anything I ever present, and in all my lectures at APS meetings and lectures, anything I've ever presented, not once has anybody said that's incorrect. No. I repeat with emphasis. My main interest and challenge is in the discipline of theology, the study of all beliefs. How did we get here? Why are we here? What best to do? And I want to complete this, and I may even retract this from Wikipedia, but I haven't done, I think, at least for now, I'll leave it there. And complete, because Hawking went from the discipline of science into the discipline of theology to say there is no God. And I have at least one quote, or maybe a half a dozen. Now Hawking's, I had never dared, of course, to say anything about what I know of how you became so famous, how they did it, and who you copied. Yeah. But now when you go into the discipline of theology, it's going to be one-on-one, thus preacher Doc.